Ozzy Chavez, Fight World, fighting back home in Albuquerque. How you doing, my man?
Good, good. Just getting ready, prepared, living the dad life and, training, working hard and getting ready to put on a show.
Big weekend of fights. March 21st. You go back to doing what you love to do. You get in that cage. How does dad life, work life, how does all that transform when there's a date on the calendar and the Beast Boy needs to come out?
It's a beautiful thing that my little ones support and get excited for when my fights come up. So it makes the process a lot easier. They're willing to be there and be ready for me to train and put in the work that needs to be done. And it's just that night comes and you just switch it on and you turn on that killer instincts and you go from being a dad to the fighter, and it's nice. It's then you get the rewards of being able to do something with them after, and give them what their sacrifices were worth.
How much different is training, is life, is the fight game when you're also now a dad? This is a much different Aussie, a much different life, much different focuses than when I first met you all the way back in Rio Rancho at Judgment.
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful process. I thank the Lord every day for, giving me my two beautiful blessings and allowing me to experience the better parts of life. Fighting has always been my passion and my dream, but when you have kids, it just, you start realizing the priorities in life and how we got to set those examples of chasing our dreams and achieving our goals so that when they get that age, they know, hey, my dad put in the work and he did what he had to do to show us that they could do anything they want. And I constantly tell them, trust in the Lord's plans and just work hard and everything you want could happen.
Is it harder to be selfish now during camps? Because I know training these weeks and lead up, especially when you get down to the last couple weeks with weight cutting and calorie depletion, it's a really selfish time. So how much harder is that now as a father and with so much on your schedule?
Oh boy, that gets rough, especially when your little one's asking for pizza and cake and all the good stuff. But I try to be disciplined in my area and allow her to still enjoy her parts. And it makes it rough when you're driving with the pizza to the house and you know that you're not getting none. But she does her part and she sits there and allows me to train. So I do my part in making it as smooth for her also. And I'm thankful to have the gym I'm at and the people it's like a family there at Fit, and everyone helps out and she loves being there. Everyone is just so awesome with her. And I'm thankful for that for sure.
I'm not going to name names, but I've went out with some fighters when they're cutting weight. And I'm like, "Are you sure you want to go eat?" And they're like, "Yeah." And they will sniff my food. It's like the fantasy of almost eating. So you can't tell me you don't enjoy that drive home with
Oh
the pizza.
yeah.
That you're at least enjoying being that close to it.
Oh yeah, and then your social media knows when you're cutting, I swear, because everything pops up that's just delicious. I'm like, oh my goodness, save that for later.
In that thought, what is the best cheat meal that you get to have while in camp?
Uh I'm big on, staying disciplined throughout the whole camp and but if I am gonna have a cheat meal, I'm gonna, do some enchiladas or something crazy if I am gonna go out but and do it. But other than that, I like to stay disciplined because I do cut a little bit more than usual, and get with the age and everything, it makes it a little harder to get down. But this fight's nice. It's at 35, so I'll be able to stay strong and keep that strength high.
Well, during camp, then what is the favorite food? What is your go-to meal that you get to have during this process?
I'm big on turning some ground turkey into red chili and mixing it with quinoa and vegetables. But this week I've been doing salmon and it's been amazing. I love me some salmon also. So those two are my definitely go-tos, and then mixing in chicken every now and then for sure.
135. What would be the differences you feel like after having cut these last several fights down to 25, now competing back at 35?
I feel like it's gonna allow me to really keep my strength high and really have my output really high. I feel like the cut to 25 really doesn't do much. I feel like it's been kind of easier the last couple cuts, so I've been adding a lot of strength and conditioning and lifting a lot more to even make that cut down to 25 a little more harder because I'm coming in at 23 or 24, a little under 25 already. So if I could put on 5 pounds of muscle and then make that cut a little rough, I mean, I feel like it'll be beneficial to stay strong. But I run a lot. Like I said, I stay disciplined with my eating, even a little 6 weeks, 8 weeks out, I try to stay really disciplined. And I think that's the big key to making the cut so easy.
How have the years in the game taught you that discipline?
Oh man, it shows because when I was younger, man, I would eat McDonald's and Blake's Lottaburger the week before the fight and be cutting with the sauna suits and, really killing my body. And now that, you start seeing people like Tim Sosa and Sherwin and all these other guys, Timmy Means in the gym and how they process the weight cut and how they do everything. I think it's been very beneficial to see those guys and even asking Ty now with his how he cuts his weight and what he does and we're at our gym, we're filled with a bunch of people that are willing to spread knowledge and help one another. And it's a beautiful thing.
About two-thirds of your pro fights have not seen a second round. What has it been about your style that has created this chaos so quickly in the fights?
I think I just really like coming out and putting on a pace and really being high energy right off the back. So I think that really sets the standard for finishing fights and getting people out quicker. And, I pride myself on being a very high output fighter and trying to really put a lot out there. And this fight is one of those fights where I really want to go out there and flow the way I do in the gym and just really set a standard on the kind of fighter and kind of output I really do put out there.
How challenging has it been to find that connection of getting Ozzy that shows up in the gym to be the Ozzy that shows up in the cage under the bright lights?
I think sometimes it's just mental moments that, allow you to really be strong in there or sometimes even get under your head. So I feel like this camp I've really been just focusing on my mental and just really trying to be strong and going to church a lot and focusing on the Lord and giving him, the path of my life and allowing him to, you know, guide me to wherever is best to glorifying him. And I feel like that has been a big change in my life and my training is just, allowing him to guide me and knowing that win or loss, I'm glorifying him and I'm learning. So that's the best part now.
The last couple fights, you haven't had the performances that I'm sure that you've wanted to. What do you feel have been necessary, or have there been necessary adjustments you feel that will pay off upcoming? We see you on the 21st.
I think we're at fit, we're always constantly trying to evolve and, get better from our last performances. I feel like my last couple fights have been fights that I could have won and I just, mental errors, little positional errors where I feel comfortable in spots in the gym and, you just can't get to those spots in a fight. And, it's one of those moments where I feel like in my last three fights, I just made some mental errors where I feel like I could grow and show people that, even though haven't had the results I've wanted, that I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm not going nowhere. I have a lot of fight left and I still want to show my daughters that, dad's still here to be Beast Boy when he needs to be.
Getting comfortable in those positions. It almost sounds like, are you having too much fun or almost too much comfortability just in the process of fighting? Because you've been doing this a while.
Yeah, I mean, just getting comfortable isn't good. So, I try not to get comfortable and trying to stay, uncomfortable. But, there are moments where, you get in a position during the camp so long that in a fight you get in there and you're like, oh, I'm okay. But it's just not good thinking, not good strategy. I need to be the one putting people in the bad positions and putting my pace and my strategy in implementing that into them, and instead of just waiting and sitting back. So this fight is going to be a whole different Ozzy. I feel like I'm going to go back to that killer mind style and just come out for a finish. And I'm ready to, put on that epic style of first round finishes that I'm known for.
With that kind of style, are you fully able to practice that in the gym? I know that little sirs can get wild, but are you fully able to, do that kind of a style in the gym?
Yeah, no, I feel like I'm blessed to have so many amazing style of fighters and different people. Like Bo's one of my favorite. Serge is the man. He's one of the most wildest, and me and him are back and forth with the pace. He's the one guy that will never take a back foot. He's going forward too. So it's an epic battle. But Bo's there with me, and I got a younger kid, Miles. He's still younger, but man, that kid's got heart, and he works out every day, 2 times a day. We got Ty, like I said, he's one of the best in the state in the welterweight division, in my opinion. And he's on his way to big and better things. We got Hondo. So there's a lot of fighters that allow me to be the fighter I need to be and push me to be even better. So I'm thankful and blessed to have the coaches, Coach Matt, Coach John, and just the support I do with all those fighters I've named and more.
From the kid that started out training to now the man, the father, in touch with God, how much different is the why for why you're doing this?
I feel like the journey has been, beautiful, and it's all process, from going from the young wild kid with, you know, faith in God, but not fully trusting in God and walking the life of God, to becoming the dad and man that I need to be, and the spiritual leader of my household. I feel like it's just been a beautiful process, and it's allowed me to see the journey in a whole different aspect. And now with two little ones to show and make them excited about their journeys, it's a beautiful process. And I'm just thankful for everybody from Coach Scott Mauer to Coach John Judy, Tom Vaughn, all the people that have just been a part of this process. Coach Orozco back in the day in wrestling. There's just a lot of coaches and people that have believed in me and has put in the hours to make me the fighter. And it's I'm just so thankful.
Joseph Veloz stands in between you and victory. Why do you get your hand raised?
I just feel like I'm a better fighter in every area. I feel like he has experience and he's been there, but I feel like if I go out there and when I go out there and put on my pace and put on the striking clinic that I want to do, I feel like he's gonna break, he's gonna shoot, and at that moment I already know what I'm gonna do, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna be beautiful.
Do you have hidden talent?
Huh?
Do you have a hidden talent?
We'll have to see. There's some things that I've been working on, and I've been, you know, ready to show, and I feel like this is the fight that it's going to allow me to show some of that stuff that I haven't shown yet.
Oh, no, no, no. You got showing talents. Those are the fighting ones. No, 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 no. I was out of left field. Any hidden talents that we don't know about?
Oh,
Are you a
oh,
comedian? Do you
hitting
sing? Like, do
talent.
you have any hidden talents?
I mean, I could sing, but I don't sing good. I'm a shower singer, but other hidden talents. I like rock climbing a lot. Like I've done it for a while. I've picking up guitar. So my dad was a a big guitarist, and when he passed away, I got one of his guitars. So that's a little talent that I'm trying to sharpen up more and more every day.
What are we doing for the post-fight celebration? Where's that meal? What you got to go eat after
Ooh.
this hard weight cut?
I'm getting some green chili chicken enchiladas from somewhere, but for sure after the weight cut, I'm going to go to Joe's Pasta Place. That's my traditional spot to go. I love their Southwest green chili chicken Alfredo. It's just the bomb.
That's 2 times he's brought up enchiladas. Enchiladas on the brain from Ozzy Chavez. We
That's
know
my
what's
favorite.
calling him right now. He needs the enchiladas.
Oh yeah, that's my go-to. That's my hands down. If I could have one meal for the rest of my life, it's that for sure.
It's great to get to talk to you, sir. It's great to get you to see you back in action. Revel Entertainment Center, Fight World, March 21st. Everyone, Fight World 43. HoldMyTicket.com to get
Yes.
your tickets. I think I just hit all the good points, sir. Thank you
Yes.
for joining my fight show today.
Thank you, my brother. You have a good one.
You as well.
Bye.